Hi, this is Clayton Younkin, creative director, producer, and writer of Neon Lights, and tonight I am joined by...
Hi, I'm Steven Sullivan. I'm the voice of Cal.
Hi, I'm McKenna Reyna, and I play Kira.
Hello, my name is Miles Agee, and I play Ryder.
Hi, it's Emily Kwan, and I'm playing Juno.
Hi, my name is Dominic Kelly, and I voice Theo.
Mackenzie Healy, and I play Emmett.
Monhesia Chetty, and I'm playing Audrey.
Hey y'all, this is Ashley Taylor, and I'm playing Sylvia Ark.
Hey y'all, my name's Maddie Ellickson, and I'm playing Oliver.
So, Act 2. Lots of interesting things to kind of digest and discuss here. It ends with a lot of hanging plot points. So, the big reveal throughout season of the act was Cypher. So Cypher turned out to be BFF to the team at ARC, Audrey. So we're going to start with you, Audrey. So tell us about that, and what was that like for you?
Well, one, it was super fun with the reveal. And kind of when you start putting the pieces on, she was basically had this plan set up from the beginning, like even before the team came to ARC. That was just really interesting overall.
Yeah, and it's definitely a character arc that we haven't really seen before. I mean, we've seen kind of the backstabbing, the betrayal, but also to see that from a female character who is also a STEM researcher and a genius was something I wanted to explore. So talk about how that kind of impacted you on a social level, emotional level.
Okay, first off, I just have to say Black excellence. Period. But yeah, I was super interested when you told me that my character is a Black scientist. I was like, yes, finally. Just like all those years of indulging in sci-fi just coming out. And it's really interesting because I think I've told you before that Black females kind of have stereotypes against them that Black people are dumb and stuff like that. So just her already being a scientist goes against that stereotype. And kind of how do I say this? From the beginning, she's not necessarily malicious. She never has malicious intent toward anyone. She kind of has basically a grander plan that she has tunnel vision on. And she's doing all this from like a place of love for humanity as a whole.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's just a perspective that hasn't been really delved into yet. But it's something that is really spoken about in the Black community, as in like basically Black women are always like the superhero. We always have a cape at the ready to like defend almost anyone and everyone. And that's kind of the perspective I took Audrey from. Kind of like she sees the bigger picture all the time. And that can cause, problems in the future and stuff like that. For
sure. And there's definitely a reason I didn't label her as a villain, right? She is the antagonist or foil to our team because she's not coming from a place of malice. She has very clear objective and a very clear motivation for doing so. And I think you portrayed that wonderfully.
Thank you.
With that, so also kind of the red herring of the act was Oliver. So let's talk a little bit about that. And all of you that when you read the script the first time, I know I heard from some of you throughout, they were like, oh, Oliver Cypher. That's easy. Oliver Cypher. Is that how we felt?
I did.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way he just disappeared and stayed off. He has to be the villain behind this. And I was like, oh, okay.
I just thought with that big old brain, he wasn't going to go missing.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was just trying to get away from his overbearing sister, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and just left me behind.
He just wants a love life, but sorry, the door closed.
So let's talk about that. So Oliver, Maddie, we only see your character in flashbacks. So talk a little bit about that. What was it like trying to figure out this character from the perspective of only looking at him from the past?
So, like, reading through the scripts, like, I do kind of just blip in. So I did have to make a giant jigsaw puzzle out of a bunch of sections of the scripts. But putting them together, it wasn't that difficult, I don't think. Learning some of his motivations for everything, his love, but mostly his brain is what his driving force is.
Sure. And I can assure you that we have not heard the end of Oliver's story just yet. So, diving further into this, let's talk to our team mentor, Dr. Sylvia Ark. So, you and I have had many conversations about the character coming off as cold, unlikable, and that was by design. Why do you think that was?
Well, I think it makes sense for her character, for her background. And I mean, she grew up in the system, right? She was in that tower from the beginning, and her parents, the way she was raised, it made sense. I think she had to be that strong person. At least that's how her identity formed. I think taking her as a leader, that's definitely the growing pains for her the most, is kind of warming up, right? I mean, breaking through that resentment that she, holds so easily, and how hardened she is. And you really get to see a lot of growth for her eventually. So
yeah, definitely. And finally, our last member of the ARC team, Emmett. Emmett is definitely, we're introduced to him, and he's kind of the fanboy of the team. I think one of the first lines for you in the act is, "Oh, my turn. This is exciting," right? And so this is something that's new for him as well. So where do you suppose Emmett kind of falls with the dynamic with the rest of the scientists at ARC?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Emmett is extremely intelligent and intelligent enough that he, was lucky enough to be put in the lab. There's other people that are stuck in the sectors and can't move up. But he is working for a brother and sister team where the sister is the hero, the one that's basically holding everything together. And the brother has his own plans.
Brother or lover?
Well,
what?
So that's the thing, we did get to know each other very well. I mean, that's it. Growing up in a lab, but then being gay, it's like then I mean, God is pretty lucky that that Oliver was gay, because I was able to find someone that I can attach to, that I can become intimate with, especially when the other person in the lab is such a cold woman.
Hey.
I'm right here.
Yeah.
Wow.
I prefer the term strong. She's a strong woman.
Strong.
Absolutely.
But I'm definitely, I being Emmett, right? It's definitely a fanboy situation because it's the most excitement I've seen my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of what's so attractive is the mysteriousness about Oliver, and that he's like this other genius, but he's also it's also very hard to be intimate with Oliver. But then you have this whole team of other people come in and they're supercharged, and it's like, oh my God, this is a dream come true, and I get to be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So now let's move over to our team. So one of the things that upon recording I was very worried about was, for the most part, some of you have been involved with this project for the better part of a year. Some of you joined a little later, and some of you it's only been a couple months. But one of my big concerns was that we, because of COVID, never really got the opportunity to get together and read through it as a cast. One of the things I found interesting listening back to the raw audio is that it actually made for a better, believable performance, because as you all were getting to know each other as actors, it was taking that same journey the characters were on in their own right. So let's talk about that. What was that like, team working together kind of for that first day recording, and kind of figuring out not only how to balance your characters off of each other, but as actors to play off of each other?
I mean, right off the bat, I was intimidated. I walked in here and I was like, whew, I hope I don't fart. Like, I hope I don't mess this up, y'all. But honestly, working with everyone has been just a joy. They're so talented, and you know, it's getting out of bed knowing, oh yeah, I'm about to come lend my voice and make art with these people. It's pretty dope.
It was intimidating, like that first day. Like I was so nervous up through like the majority of the day. But then like you said, we started getting like used to reading with each other and like reacting off of each other, and it just made it kind of overall a more like meaningful experience, because as we were getting to know our characters, we were getting to know our, you know, the people around us, and it just it was intimidating, but it was in a good way, and it really did make the whole experience, especially of that first day, just feel so much more genuine.
Oh man, it was so much fun. I feel like honestly we have great chemistry. I feel like we've shared so many laughs together, just being so nervous. I think this whole experience really like not just brought us together, but really brought our team together.
For sure, yeah. I agree with that completely. I think we really bonded and really connected with each other, and we grew together throughout the act. And it was really interesting. I know Clayton had already said it, but we didn't really know anybody. We didn't know each other. We didn't know how we were going to work together. And like, right. And like there was moments that would happen where like that worked. For example, like sometimes, you know, like I would say a line and then someone would say it before I finished the line, right? And it would kind of like mess up for a second, right? But then in the story, I think there's a moment where like Kira's going in for a punch and then Teo's like, no, I got it. And then they run into each other. And it's just like, you know, it all kind of worked out, and it made sense, and it kind of really did, like Clayton said, help us kind of like feel and experience those characters from like a standpoint of like, holy crap, who are all these people on this team I'm with? Because like, holy crap, who are all these people I'm recording with? You know, so but it was really awesome, and it was really cool to like see the characters' growth as well as ours, honestly.
Going into this, I'm very happy to say that, you know, Clayton went ahead and showed me this script very, very early on, and I was so eager to hear what he had to say. And knowing how much passion he put into it was almost what, you know, how much passion he had for this project is what kind of latched me on, because it showed with the characters, the how it developed over this act. And coming into this recording booth, I was like, oh gosh, it's finally here, the day, here it comes. And I know like, you know, two other people here, like one other person. And when you hear the recordings, it's genuine. We barely knew each other. And we were are coming on the journey of us just finally coming together, becoming a family, becoming friends for the first time. And it's very special, and I'm very thankful that he allowed us to come on that ride.
And I am thankful for all of you that are here that agreed to do this. So there are 2 episodes this act that I really want to touch on briefly, because I feel just from a story perspective, they need to be discussed. So the first one is Hot Potato. The build up for this, the setup is that they need to capture this android so that they can understand the code for the virus so that they can create an antivirus. And in the episode Hot Potato, Cypher has sent a bomb out into the city, and the androids that are out keep bouncing it back and forth between each other. Well, at the end of the episode, it's revealed that the android that was captured was the final location for this bomb, which inadvertently blows Audrey, blows up in the room Audrey's in, which was all part of Audrey's plan. So let's talk about this episode. It was definitely exciting to hear you guys record it. What was it like reading it and trying to figure out kind of what was happening?
I'm not gonna lie, I had so much anxiety. I was already really nervous, just because I didn't know anybody. But it was more of like, for me, I was really anxious of how it was going to sound, how our reactions were going to mesh with each other. But for as anxious as I was even more excited. I particularly got really into like some of the sounds. I really like making a lot of sounds.
I agree with the anxiety part of it. If I could like put it into one word to describe like my experience recording that episode, I'd probably say sweaty. I was really hot. I had to take my jacket off, you know. Anxiety was kicking a little bit, but I was really into it. It was really awesome. I really liked how it turned out. I don't remember specifically what the last line was said, but I believe Audrey said,
"Oh my God."
Okay. There you go. Oh my God. And when that oh my God hit, you really felt the tension in this recording room. I thought it was fantastic. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, bouncing off that tension, it was just like intensity, and then the final line, and then quiet. And I was like, oh my God.
Reading it, I was
Oh
just
my
like,
God.
how are they going to resolve this?
Exactly. I was like, even though like we know what
they
happens
felt
at the end.
the odds were so stacked against them, and then just when it seemed like they got a plan that was working, they were like, okay, got this one out, and then all of a sudden everyone was like, I don't have it, do you have it? And then boom, you know. Shoot.
Yeah, I mean, really, the best way to describe that entire situation, you know, yes, sweaty, but honestly, it was just a clown fiesta.
Well, definitely the other episode I want to talk about is Takeover. And in that episode, Audrey has revealed herself to be Cypher, has implanted a virus into the team because she now has cybernetics that allow her to do so because they are on the same network. And one by one, Ryder has to take out his own team. Let's talk about that.
Honestly, I felt really sad every time I had to kick someone's ass. You know, it was really... This season for Ryder was rough because, first off, he's already having a hard time, you know, meshing with the team because he's a cop. And, he's a whole cop. And the team's not really fond of that, especially since a majority of them are, I guess you could say, criminals. But, you know, and then next thing you know, the person that he thought he could trust, you know, who's showing him around, all this stuff, like someone he could call a friend, that would be Audrey, ends up deciding to be like, haha, psych, you know, that's just not, and now he has to go in and take out his team, you know, just hoping that this does not ruin their friendships, you know, I mean, I was hoping that, and surprisingly it didn't. So
This episode kind of gave me Enter the Dragon vibes. I was really excited for Ryder to get his ass kicked.
Yeah.
And then he ended up doing all the ass kicking. But it was really fun to read.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when Clayton when I was reading it for the first time and I saw that, I think one of the actual line or the one of the directions in there literally says he has taken on a blind samurai look.
Yes.
I thought to myself, you know what? My little weeaboo self gonna love this. And I gotta say, it was dope.
Well, I really, I wanted that visually striking image. And so I think, you know, in the suit of armor, helmet off because he's been told he can't trust his eyes. He can't trust what he sees. And then to just have that kind of bandana flapping behind him that he's ripped off from the bed. It's a very striking image, and I expect that we'll see some fan art of that hopefully in the coming months. Sure. And with that note, so there's a little touch of something mentioned very briefly that Ryder sees. These lights. So look for the light, pay attention to the light, and we'll see you next time when we continue in Act 3.